Hello, welcome back to Talk About Strange. Stick around a while. This is going to be really exciting. It's going to be a lot of fun. I just want to say thank you to you all. This last video we did went really well, and boy, I just got so many messages and comments on there. I can't believe it. So much that Wendy rewrote us, and I'm so excited because she wants to answer some of your questions. So we're going to get right to that. But I just wanted to say thank you again for this overwhelming response that we got to that last video. And we also got a couple of other stories that are coming in. So I'm going to be working on them. I can't wait to share them with you. So thank you, all of you, for being supporters of this channel and helping me grow so that we can continue to do this. And I can't wait to get out in the field and really do some exploring and bring just a lot more content to you. So let's get started with this story. Like I said, stick around. This can be a lot of fun, all right? And don't forget to like and share. And if you have a story you want to share with us, oh geez, now I got my voice thing listening to me here, then I will post that here at the bottom, and so you know where to share it to. Let me see if I can find her email. Where are we here? I also want to give a shout out to Pine Box Tales, who wrote me, and I watched a couple of her videos on her channel. So if you get a chance and you want to hear some interesting stories, she's really good at narrating. She's been doing it for a couple of years. Pine Box Tales, jump over there and listen to her. She does a really good job. All right, here we go. Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. All right. So, again, like I said, Wendy wrote back and just wants to answer some unanswered questions. So I'm thrilled about this, and I can't wait to share it with you. So we're going to get started. Steve, I'll start by saying thank you for sharing our story on your channel. My daughter stopped over and we watched your video together with my husband. We all appreciate how you shared our story so respectfully and non-judgmental. I'm sure this isn't always easy. We read a lot of the comments that people wrote into you and me. And me. We admire how you responded to many of them without taking sides or lashing out at the naysayers. I want to say thank you to all the wonderful people that showed nothing but unquestionable understanding, respect, love, support for my family. To the few that were not so kind, I want you to know it's okay. We understand just how remarkable this all sounds, especially for someone who hasn't experienced anything like this firsthand. For the ones that had nothing but rude, disgusting things to say, I will not stoop to your level because you are already sad inside, and that's why you hate everything you don't understand. I hope you find peace. It's well said. I was pleased to see so many spoke up about this happening all around the world and even shared experiences. I knew there was others, but I'm still a little surprised about how widespread it is. Afterwards, we talked about it together and thought it might be a good idea to try and answer a few of the questions that came up the best we can. A few people seem to believe that just because I went through this ordeal, I would automatically be an expert on the subject or a great storyteller. That's like saying if you got robbed, you would be an expert on robberies, or if you got hit by a drunk driver, you'd be an expert on drunk driving. I never claimed to be a Bigfoot expert, and this is what true stories sound like. Trust me, fiction would be a lot more elaborate. In fact, after this happened, my husband and I stepped away from Bigfoot investigating life. Yes, of course, we studied and learned a lot about this creature for our own personal reasons, and we're associated with actual experts in the field today. But trust me when I say some things are better left to the actual experts. Please understand, I didn't send this story in looking for fame or attention. I only took this risk hoping it might help others that are afraid to look for help or feel alone. My warning to them is, yes, look for help, but use caution when and where you look for it and who you talk to. On that note, a few people brought up DNA testing. Yes, we had done private DNA testing and we have shared our findings with trusted people in the field. We found out a lot. There are a lot of similarities. For instance, we are both considered primates, gray apes, humanoids, even superfamily humanoids. Hominoids. We even found Neanderthal DNA leading all the way to African roots and much, much more that I cannot share at this time. But don't overthink this. It's going to be much harder than you think to find the differences between us. It's like Dr. Mira Mayer always says. It's going to take a lot more than one or two simple samples in order to consider any of this valid science. That's true. Okay, so a couple of people mentioned telepathic powers and the ability to transport themselves. I'll say this with all due respect. This is not an episode of Star Trek. To my knowledge, these creatures cannot transport themselves from one place to another, at least not while they are alive. I can't speak for their spiritual abilities if that is what they are referring to. That is saying, unless my daughter didn't inherit those genes, otherwise they are almost just like us, with a couple of exceptions. They have much more heightened senses, like extreme. By that I mean they can smell for miles. This might sound funny, but if the wind is right, my daughter can smell a pizza being made from 3 to 5 miles away. Okay, I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to tell you, that's not a super strength. I can do that. I'm kidding. I can't do that. I don't think. I might be able to. I love pizza. Anyway, she knows whomever is within 200 yards of her by their smell alone. So wear deodorant. Sorry. Her sight is off the charts. She doesn't need binoculars to see a deer on the other side of a 200-acre field. Nor does she feel the urge to run it down and tear it apart to eat it raw like somebody else asked. Really? However, she really likes cooked venison, if that makes you feel any better. She has incredible night vision, but has a hard time with headlight shine, especially morons that leave their high beams on. I agree with that. I believe they are mostly night hunters because my daughter can see even a small animal in a field at night from quite a distance, and she's pretty sure her sight is limited compared to a full-blooded Bigfoot. As for her strength, you'd be surprised if you're not used to it. It seems supernatural, but it's really not. Even a gorilla has 10 times the strength of a very strong man. I don't know if my girl is that strong, but when she was 12, I caught her in my husband's exercise room playing with the weights on his bench. It was no less than 150 pounds, and she was pressing them and laughing that Daddy needed heavier weights. Don't take that wrong. She wasn't tossing them around like they were made of foam like you'd see on TV. It was more like a normal individual was lifting the dumbbell without weights. As for running, I think she could probably catch a deer running if she really wanted to. She laughs at me and says she can't, but she has never tried. She definitely had to downplay her strength in school and college and hated doing it because she's very competitive. As for a sixth sense, they do have a sixth sense that people talk about. For her, it's not so much that she is telepathic, she is more of an empath. She feels everything to the point that if you're about to move your hand, she senses it sometimes before you do. Wow, that's cool. Even if a dog is about to get up, she senses it just before he gets up. If you're behind her and look her way, she knows if you're looking at her. That's probably why they are so hard to find and always know when to duck out of sight. She told us about a client that was about to punch her in the face because she hit a nerve and he didn't want to open up. So she leaned into him as he swung and hugged him so his arm just wrapped around her instead of hitting her. Then said to him, "I'm sorry you're in pain. I want to help you." She said he broke down and cried for a moment and then asked her how she knew he was about to do that. She said it was in your eyes. She senses pain, fear, sadness, anger, hunger, and yes, sexual stuff as well. La la la, I don't need to talk about that. Typical mom. She wants you to know that she doesn't think Bigfoot groups are all angry, hateful beasts, that even though they can hurt you, she thinks they just want to be left alone. She and I believe what happened to me out there that day is basically just normal day for them, because they don't live by our rules. They live by the rules of the forest. They don't get married or even mate for life as far as we know. For them, it's still just survival of the fittest. It wasn't meant personal or even meant to harm in their eyes, or it would have been much worse or fatal. She don't think they wanted to harm my husband either. She believes they were just toying with him out of curiosity and maybe even enough to make sure he didn't return to their home. Excuse me. Got tickled. I'm glad my daughter has no desire to meet them in person and doesn't even know what they would do if she did. She avoids the forest as much as possible. Yes, she has the sense of being watched from the woods several times, but quickly got out of that location. She does believe they have the ability to communicate with each other through mind signals and definitely sounds, because sometimes she gets an overwhelming feeling like anxiety, but it's different. Sometimes she gets images of different forests and areas of woods that flash through her head. She thinks that might be locations, but she's not certain. She says she only wishes she could teleport so she could save drive time and gas. I want that too. That'd be cool. That would be the best. Anyway, she is not an animal. She is not dangerous unless provoked. She's not grotesque in any way. She's just a woman walking amongst you, just like many others do. Oh, and as for her shoe size, it's a girl size 14. So yeah, she has big feet. Laugh out loud. I hope this helps a little at least. And once again, Steve, thank you so very much for sharing our story. I wish you the best of luck with your channel. And if ever someday it's safe to go public with all this, you will be the first person we will reach out to. Also, to all of your followers, thank you again for all the kindness and understanding you've shown us. Please keep sharing your stories and helping each other, as we still have a long way to go. Yours truly, Wendy. Wow. Wendy, thank you so much for following up on that. I didn't expect you to, but I really appreciate it. Thank you for thanking me and the people watching the channel. Yeah, I think that should help a lot of people. I hope it helps a lot of people. You're probably going to get, a little bit of the same, wise guys, wise girls, whatever. But for the most part, everybody on this channel has been really good and respectful. You get a few, but, we'll just try to work them over to our side and get them understanding. But anyway, so yeah, thanks again. That's phenomenal. I love it. And please continue to watch the channel. If you have a story you want to share, make sure you share it to my email address. Leave a comment. And I got another story coming here that somebody sent in to me, so I can't wait to share that with you. It's a little bit of a shorter story, but still, I got a lot of stories coming in, but I got one I'm getting ready to work on here soon. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me again here today. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.